In this video, I want to talk to you guys about overcoming the fear of talking to the camera. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's jump into it. As always, I have my notes to keep myself organized because y'all know I like to ramble, but this was something I personally struggled with. Personally, I was scared. Every time I turned on the camera, I would set up the camera. I went on YouTube and looked at all the settings for my camera, best audio for my camera, best lighting, all the accessories. And then finally, I would set up my camera on a tripod. And then as soon as it came time to record, I would either press recording or press the record button and I would hear my voice. And I went like, oh, I sound like that on camera? Or, you know, with the lighting, you know, why does my shirt look like that? Why am I making all these noises or, you know, doing things with my hands? I want to tell you, I personally been there. So I'm going to break these things down. And the first thing is to start without pressure. I'm going to be honest with you. It is the hardest thing. It is one of the hardest things. However, if you take all that pressure off yourself, remember, it's just you and the camera. It's not, you know, I understand when you do upload the video, it will be on YouTube, but right now it's me and you having a conversation. Look at it like that. You want to stop trying to be perfect. I realized that I had to stop doing that. I wanted to be perfect. I wanted everything to be ideal. I wanted everything to be like perfect. So when I put it on YouTube, people would hear my voice and see my face and see my surroundings and say, oh, this is the perfect setup. But I'm gonna tell you, you have to hit record and talk freely. You know, what I did in the beginning, I started recording with my phone, right? I would use my front-facing camera. I would go out for a walk, or whenever I felt compelled, I wanted to practice, I would record like I was having a FaceTime call. The thing is, at the time, the trick was I put a privacy screen protector over my phone and I would walk around as if I was on a FaceTime call. And people wouldn't even know that I was practicing getting better. And I would do this in public scenarios. You know, I would just turn the camera, record, and I would delete it. Or I would save it for later. I wouldn't even think about it. And I did it over and over and over. And it's almost like you're not only creating content, but you're also training yourself to build confidence, right? Because this is what it is. You want to feel confident when you sit down the camera in any place. You know, obviously, depending on where your comfort level lies, because in the beginning, I started filming in my car for the most part. And I still do, because I feel like it's like I have control over audio, I have control over video, but that doesn't matter. I felt like I could sit there and talk to you guys in a safe space about the things that are concerning me, the things that I want to talk about. You know, that way, I didn't have to think about who was there, but I want you to try practicing with your phone anywhere that you are. Practice without pressure. Don't think about, remove the idea that the camera's there. What I do now is that I picture talking to one person, me and you are having a conversation right now in this room with this camera. And I just, you know, every now and again, I try to look at the lens, but you will get better if you take this pressure off that it has to be perfect and ideal. And this is why I don't edit, because I took the pressure off myself. I said, you know what? The fastest way for me to get comfortable is if I remove the pressure off my back of being perfect and things being so like organized and neat. And trust me, take that pressure, get rid of it, and you'll get better over time. Take it from me, I made 200 videos in 1 year, and that was a lot, you know, but you can get there as you move along this journey. All right, and I want you, the next one, I want you to build awareness around you, that you're scared talking to the camera. So build awareness fast, right? Build this awareness that, you know what, I'm not this, you know, I'm not perfect. I stutter. My hands get sweaty. I can't, you know, I can't read a script. I don't like doing that. I know that I'm not gonna be this person that I'm not, you know. And I want you to focus on not rushing to get through everything in the video when you're first recording. You know, record small clips, right? Let's say you record for like 1 minute, talking about what's around you, what's on your mind, how you feel. And then at some point, you know, later on, you may want to record even longer. I started off, luckily, during the course of the pandemic, you know, on Twitch, on TikTok, and all these other places, recording live streams, because there was nothing for me to do. It was just like we were all like in the house. But think about it. You don't have to make things perfect. Like, let's say you get nervous in mid-sentence, you hear your own voice, you start laughing. Focus on fixing those small, tiny things first. Let's say if you get nervous, or if you talk too fast, or if you you think that you don't like the sound of your voice. I'm gonna be honest with you. Building this awareness has got me so comfortable where I'm at. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be, but I also want to convey my message. And if you practice this over and over again, I know it sounds simple, y'all. I know when you set the camera down, like, hear me out, when you set the camera down, it could be cringe and it could be weird, but it's so beautiful once you practice and get these reps in, and you'll stack that progress. So like if you get better at recording longer, you get better just practicing, let's say you read a script, reading your script, because that could be tough following those words. I give so many props to people who do that in news and weather and all that stuff, but focus on stacking those wins. Like if you recorded for 1 minute, try the next day recording for 2 minutes, try recording for 3 minutes, find a space that you feel comfortable. Let's say when I was younger, I used to set up my phone camera, and because I was so compelled about recording myself, I would sit in the closet and I would put a little light over my head, like it was a little magnetic night light, and I would just attach and I would record, just to practice. Because I always had that feeling, but I want you to try a safe space, your closet, maybe a hallway with some books stacked up. You don't have to go buy any gear, any crazy cameras, or even a tripod in your car. Let's say you felt something in the moment, you experienced something and you wanted to express yourself, because honestly, saying how you feel, that freedom of expression is so important, because your friends, your family, whoever may say, oh, I don't agree with that. And that happens. That's okay. But a camera and yourself gives you the space to talk about how you feel. And there's probably people in the world that experience and feel the same way you feel about something. Let's say, for instance, if someone likes Nike or Adidas, there may be a group of people who prefer one or the other. And let's say that's something that you're arguing with somebody about and you want to record that. There's an audience for everybody. Your tribe is out there, and you have to, if you want to share this message, you got to put those reps in. You got to do those reps. I'm telling you, you got to do those 10,000 hours. And I'm not saying, I'm just using a random number, but you got to put those hours in. And even if you feel uncomfortable in the beginning, I know this is a long one, but building your awareness is so important around those things. If you talk fast, if you're nervous, if you can't read a script or whatever it is, building that awareness quickly can help you get better. All right, the next one, right? The next one is taking control of the moment. I want you to understand something. I can control how everything in this space is. I can control the lighting. I can control closing the window if there's an airplane flying by and it's so loud. But you can control, yourself, right? Repetition comes with talent, right? And you have to start slow. You have to start where you're at. I started with one video, and you can start one video. I have in my phone, I have a bunch of videos of, like, you have no idea. I use my phone as a video diary about how I feel, what has happened, my experiences. Because remember, your phone is on you. You have all these cameras on here that you can speak and freely, or even, talk about your experiences, or talk about the good things, talk about the bad things. The phone is so powerful, because as a content creator or someone who wants to get comfortable sitting in front of a camera, because as soon as you hold your phone up, you have a camera right in front of you. So this gives you that power, one, to get comfortable looking at a lens, and it's not as big as a full camera setup. Two, it'll allow you to have something that's so compact and lightweight, because trust me, once you start using other cameras, they become more difficult to weld and set up, and that's another topic for another video. But take control of the moment. Control what you can control. You'll make mistakes, and that's okay. You're gonna be nervous. Your palms are gonna be sweaty. You're gonna stutter. You're gonna be thirsty. You're gonna be like, oh, I don't like the way things sound. Is my hair all right? This is what I look like when I put on an ND filter. Why does it look so light? There's gonna be things that are gonna come with this, but take control of the moment. What you can control is that you decided that you want to get better at this. You clicked on this video because you wanted to improve, and I realized that personally, when I got inspired and I wanted to do this, that I want to get better at this. I want to be able to do this like for fun. I want to do this for my family. I want to do this as a hobby. I want to make money. You want to do all these things, but you have to take that leap of faith and just say, you know what? I'm going to control what I control. What I know is that I'm not good at this. What I do know is that I want to improve, and I'm gonna take these steps. It's gonna take those hours. It's gonna take those reps. You could take a second to take a deep breath in between those sentences. I've done this for so long, so many hours, that sometimes I just talk and talk and talk, and you'll get to that point. You're gonna be to the point where you're not even gonna want to stop talking. But you have to, while you can, take time in between your sentences. Take a deep breath. Think about it like that. I took that break. You don't have to rush. You know, as you continue to build off of this, you'll get better. And if you let's say you have a second where you need to take a break, you can edit that spot out and do a jump cut. I personally don't do that, but I've decided that I want to get comfortable doing this, and this is the best way I can. I want to share my story, the raw, uncut, so you guys can understand that it can be done with little to no edits, or if any at all. Let's move on to the next one. The next one, this is the hardest one, y'all, and I want y'all to really lock in. Do me a favor, before we do get to that last step, drop a like on the video, subscribe. We have just passed 9,000 subscribers, and we are on our way. I can't believe I'm saying this. We are on our way to 10K, and thank you so much. It couldn't be done without any of y'all. Seriously. The next one is to earn your confidence publicly. And I know at some point, this is a tough one, and this is something that I'm still trying to get better with. At some point, you got to stop hiding. You got to stop, you watch the videos, you practice, and this is after doing, there's no rush. I want you to take your time. You practice, you watch those videos, you practice with your phone, you got comfortable, you got your camera, whatever it is, you're using your phone, whatever you have, because that's the best camera is the one that's always with you. You're using that, you're already like ready. You parked at the location, or you walk to the location that you want to film, whether it's in your back porch or your terrace or wherever you're at, or even in a busy city. And at this point, you gotta say to yourself, you know what, it's time to go. Now, what I want you to do is to record a video. I want you to record a video, and you gotta have some close friend, someone you can trust, your mother, your parents, your father, anyone, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, anyone. I want you to record a video in public, and I want you to seize this moment and say to yourself, I'm gonna take like a minute, and I'm gonna walk somewhere, and I'm gonna film, I'm gonna record myself, and I'm gonna talk about something that really compels me. Or you could talk about the weather or things that you dislike. And I want you to record that video. It's gonna be difficult. And I even my hands are sweating right now, telling you, what, it's time. It is time to finally just go out there and record. And this may take some time. It took me years, y'all. It took me a while to finally get the confidence. And even if you don't want to do that, if you're not ready to go public, I know it's tough, but you got at some point, even if you pretend like you're on a FaceTime call like I did and hold the phone and let's say you want to get a privacy screen protector to put it over this, so that way no one sees what's going on, they pass you. But you got to get confident. That fear and that feeling, that signal that's coming from you right now, that's growth. That's growth, and this is the hardest part. I know it's scary. I know it's tough, but you got to push through, because eventually, if you really want to do this, and I know you do, because you're still here, I know you want to do this, but it's going to be harder you're going to get to the point where it's going to be hard to stop, because you're already like at the midway point of wanting to make content or create videos where you talk to the camera. It's going to be tough, but you got to push forward. You got to earn your confidence publicly. That's what's going to happen. You're going to set up a tripod. I would recommend just starting with your phone and just talking to the camera. You're going to walk somewhere. And when you're done with this video, I know this is a little bit of a longer video, y'all, so I apologize. But when you get to that point, I want you to send this video to a close friend, a family member, a loved one, someone that you really can trust and believe in, that'll give you feedback. And I want you to take this feedback, and I want you to write the 4 core points from that feedback that you get. And I want them to be very meticulous and let it be constructive feedback. And at least I would hope, if they're your close friend, right? In all seriousness, take that feedback, and I want you to work on those things. And I don't want you to give up. because I know what's gonna happen. You're gonna record, you're gonna look back at your videos, even if you didn't delete them or you did, you're gonna look back and be like, oh man, like this, I can't do this. You can. I want you to continue to practice. I'm not gonna say every single day. Anytime you can. Let's say a good thing happens. Let's say a bad thing happens. Let's say something you want to celebrate happens. Let's say you're going through a tough time, or you're going through a great time, or you got a new promotion, or holidays, graduation, Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever it is, birthdays. I want you to record. You have to pick up the camera. You can watch the best settings videos. You can watch the best audio videos. You can watch the videos on how to talk to the camera. You could do all that. But if you don't hit that red button, what will happen is nothing. But you know what? You can and you will. I know you will. Do me a favor, drop a like on the video, subscribe. We are almost to 10K subscribers, and I know you can talk to the camera. I can believe in you. If I can, you can. It is very, very simple. You just need to follow these steps, push forward, get rid of the sweaty palms, the nervousness, and things like that, and you'll do just fine. Drop a like on the video, subscribe. We are almost to 10K. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.